Hey water signs, it's Suzanne with Sunny Forest Tarot here to do a little weekly reading. I know I've been away for a while. I did do a separate video to explain that a little bit and what is coming in the future. So if you want to watch that, you can. It is posted along with the earth, fire, and air videos as well. Next week, I will be back to full zodiac signs. This week, I'm just warming up. I'm doing a 7-question reading this week. All right, so we're going to ask some different questions here this week just to see what comes up, okay? So the first question for you, water signs, is how is your energy affecting others right now? Others, you can define who those others are, who that person is, whatever the case may be, okay? So let's see. Let's see. And by the way, if any card comes up in the reverse, we will flip it over for this particular reading, okay? All right, so let's see. What do we have? First card, 5 of Cups. So, how is your energy affecting others? It feels like there's somebody or there are some people around you that might feel your loss or might feel the loss of you. Okay, 5 of Cups is about loss. It's about sadness. You know, how is your energy affecting others right now? In some way, when somebody thinks of you, they become sad or regretful, or they have a sense of loss. Whoever this is, if you're connected to this person in a romantic way, they might not be able to see this 2 of Cups here behind this person. They might not be able to see the mutual connection that the 2 of you might have, okay? And in some way, this is coming from your energy, okay? So you are affecting this person in this way, or you are affecting people in this way. So I would say check your energy. Check what you're putting out there. You know, are you very positive when you're speaking to other people? Are you helpful and hopeful, or are you something else right now? All right, so why are we seeing the 5 of Cups? All right, so we have the Wheel of Fortune. So this can be a card of Sagittarius. You might be dealing with a Sagittarius, first of all. Secondly, the Wheel of Fortune, destiny or karma. Okay. The Wheel of Fortune, you know, can also be about timing. So you might be dealing with somebody that was destined to cross your path. You were destined to cross their path. You know, and whatever was said or done between the 2 of you, or between you and these people, you know, this might be helping this person realize something in their own life, realizing some of their own behaviors, realizing that things were meant to happen the way that they occurred, the way that they happened for some reason. So what else do we need to know here? We have the World. All right, so the World can be a card of Capricorn. You might be dealing with a Capricorn or a Sagittarius or another water sign. You know, the Wheel and the World both can talk about endings and beginnings, more so usually ending a cycle. So it feels like a cycle was ended between you and a particular person, or you and a particular group. Whoever these people are, your energy, they feel your missing presence. They feel a loss when it comes to you. They feel sadness when it comes to you possibly not being around them anymore. Who knows why this is happening? There's so much going on in the world right now that, a lot of people are really taking a deep look at their life, what they're doing. Do their relationships make them happy? Does their work make them happy? Does where they live make them happy? It feels like there's a lot of upheaval. So this could apply to a lot of things in your life, different things. But overall, your energy is affecting others by the fact that people are feeling the loss of your presence or the loss of your energy in some way, okay? So let's see. Next question. What does Spirit desire for you now? What does Spirit desire for you right now? Let's see. Eight of Pentacles. So I feel like Spirit wants you to acknowledge the progress that you have made. Spirit is acknowledging efforts that you are putting into something here in the physical world. It could be the fact that you are moving on from something. You're moving forward. You're doing the work. You might be healing in some way. You might be helping other people heal. You're doing something productive. And, I feel like Spirit's desire for you is for you to stay focused on what it is that you enjoy doing. I feel like that's really important right now for you, is for you to be enjoying what you're doing, enjoying your days. But there's progress being made, even if you can't see it. So why are we getting the Eight of Pentacles here for water signs? High Priestess. There's something beyond the veil that you aren't able to see. So you might feel like you're spinning your wheels, okay? And you don't know why you're doing something, or you are doing something that may not be showing the fruits of your labor yet. It's like your Spirit desires you to trust the universe. Even though you can't see behind her, even though you can't see beyond the veil right now, whatever it is that you're doing is serving a purpose in the physical world. Again, you might be helping people, healing yourself, but it's progress towards something bigger for you. What else do we need to know here? Queen of Swords. All right, so this can be a card of Libra. So you might be dealing with a Libra in particular, or you might be dealing with somebody that's carrying this Queen of Swords energy. This might be you. So you might feel, again, like you're spinning your wheels in some way, that you have had it kind of rough recently, or in the last couple of years, things have felt challenging or difficult. This energy, I feel like, opens us up from the Queen of Swords energy. The Queen of Swords really tends to block their heart. So if Spirit is desiring anything here for you, if you're just going through the motions, if you're doing something and you're just going through the motions, I feel like Spirit is saying, we've got to put your heart into it. If your heart isn't in it, then there's a reason that this High Priestess is showing up for a different reason. Spirit isn't allowing you to see the higher good right now if your heart isn't in something. And that could go for a relationship, a job. Maybe you can't see a future in a relationship, or you can't see how it unfolds, or you can't see a future in a particular job. There's a reason that you can't see it. It might mean that your heart's not in it. You might be getting that little feeling in your stomach, no matter what your situation is, like this, I'm just going through the motions. I'm just going through the motions and my heart's not in it. So I feel like Spirit's desire for you is to find what your heart really wants, no matter what it is in your life, relationship, job, whatever it is. If your heart's not in it, you've got to find where your heart thrives, okay? All right, so what fear is it that you need to let go of? What fear is it that you need to let go of? Six of Wands. Okay. So this is success. So you have a fear of success in some way, which, I think everybody has at some point in their life. Hey, Barney. Fear of success is such an interesting concept. Like, why would we be afraid of being successful, right? Whether it's no matter how it applies in life. But you have a fear of some type of success, maybe as to how it would change your life as a whole, even if it changes your life as a whole for the better. But whenever there's a fear of success, it always translates into a fear of failure in some way. So whether it's a fear of success indirectly or a fear of failure directly, this is what you need to let go of. So why is the Six of Wands showing up here? Two of Cups. So there is some relationship, whether it's past or whether it's, an interest that you have. There's a mutual connection. This feels like a romantic connection, a love connection of some kind. It is mutual. You might be fearful that it's not mutual, okay? Pretty common fear. This feels fairly new, but I feel like it has been in some way acknowledged, whether through words or through actions. This connection has been acknowledged in some way between you and this person. But there's fear that it may not go the way you want it to go. And as long as that fear is there, there's questions around this connection. What else? Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands always speaks caution to me. Caution based on things that have happened in the past. Things have gone wrong in the past, so they could possibly go wrong in the future. But they could also go right. That's where our past limits us. Unfortunately, experience can be a good thing. It can be a bad thing too, because sometimes the experiences that we had were very random and they didn't turn out the way we thought. But it certainly doesn't mean that something won't turn out 100 times better this time around. And I feel like it's really important to let go of that cautious, fearful energy. Or you limit yourself. You limit this beautiful opportunity, this beautiful connection, beautiful love connection. Something is brewing. But there's a lot of fear around it. Where is this fear coming from? Who knows? It could be coming from, what's going on in the world right now. So the fear of failure, the fear of success, whatever it is, the overcautiousness, Everybody's so cautious with what they do, with what they say, you know, with how somebody is going to take what they say, if somebody's going to be offended. It's very hard to navigate. The social constructs right now are very hard to navigate with everything that's going on in the world. I feel like it is affecting our connections overall. So it's like, release that. The next question is, what is in your heart that needs to be shared? What is in your heart that needs to be shared? Let's see. What is in your heart that needs to be shared? We haven't seen any duplicates yet. Five of Swords. Okay, so Five of Swords. Conflict, a fight, an argument, a disagreement. Maybe somebody might have been more, it might have been more important that I win the argument than share my heart. I almost feel like that's what needs to be said. It was more important for me to win the argument than to share the vulnerable side of me. So while I might have won the battle, I certainly didn't win the war based on, you know, and I'm not saying that this, whatever situation this is, that it's a war for you or for the other person, but it's just kind of a figure of speech. Like, we might have gotten caught up in what was said or how something was said. Swords can be about communication. It can also be about thoughts. You know, in this particular card, I feel like it's about communication. Something was said somewhere along the way, and I feel like there's regret around that, whether it's on your end or on another person's end, but I feel like it's on your end. Why do we have the Five of Swords? Eight of Wands, communication. Again, something was said. Something was said that you regret. Okay? Or somebody around you said something that they regret. And that's what needs to be shared. That's what needs to be shared. And whoever said this, it gave them a feeling of winning. It gave them a feeling of being above the other person or having a leg up, or, you know, a feeling of holding all the cards, or a feeling of control. What else? Knight of Cups. So whatever was said, whatever was going on the outside, what was going on the inside was probably some secret, vulnerable, deep feelings of love. So this could be, again, with Two of Cups, this could be a newer type of connection, a newer type of relationship. It almost feels like there was something that happened that prevented something really good that might have been somewhat new from progressing forward. There might have been assumptions made, a lot of assumptions made based on how somebody said something, what they said. Somebody might have been very cold and unfeeling. But what's the bigger picture there? It feels like there's more to this. It feels like there's a lot more to this. So that's what needs to be shared, and that can be difficult. What made you feel vulnerable, it actually showed up as an argument, a fight, or saying or doing something that was not your original intention, but it came out kind of cold. Okay? All right. So, let's see. Something meaningful that needs to be said by you. So it's not really a question. What is something meaningful that needs to be said by you? Ten of Swords. All right, so when we're talking about something meaningful that needs to be said, it's like you have to acknowledge that you probably went in the complete opposite way of what your heart wanted to do. And somebody might forgive that, somebody might not. It's like afterwards you were probably thinking, oh my God, how did that happen? I did not expect that to happen that way. I did not expect to say the things that I said at that moment. And I feel like the other person might feel the same way. Why the Ten of Swords? Four of Pentacles. So this could be about something that wasn't necessarily said, but was held back. So it's like you might have betrayed yourself by not saying what you truly felt. Like there was definitely something said here, okay? But what really needed to be said, or what really needed to be conveyed to these other people or this person, was whatever it was that you held back. What did you hold back? Something that you felt vulnerable about in the physical world. What else here? Eight of Cups. What needs to be shared here, what needs to be shared by you is you walked away from some really deep feelings that you might have had for a job, for a person, whatever. You walked away from it, or you were thinking about walking away from it. You might have actually physically done this because something that needed to be said at the time wasn't. And you felt like you betrayed that person, company, whoever. It's like what happened wasn't what was intended, what you intended to happen. And you feel if the conversation had gone differently, or if you had been more open or honest, things would have gone very differently. And somebody might really need to hear that from you. You know, this could come out like, you know, I didn't mean what I said. It's got to go deeper than that. You know, it's got to be about why you didn't mean what you said. What was the underlying cause that caused you to hold back what you really meant? And ultimately admitting that you really betrayed yourself. You really hurt yourself by doing that. And it ended up with you or both people walking away from something that you were building here. This Tower of Cups, this tower of feelings here, something was building. And it's like, it feels like the rug was pulled out from both of you. It wasn't just you. All right, so the next question is, well, actually, you know what? I want to do this first. Let's see what comes up here. This might have been what you really wanted to say, okay? Or it might be something that somebody really wanted to say to you, but it got covered up. It got covered up with something within somebody's ego. All right, so let's see. What do we have? Look at. So this is the throat chakra here, all right? So it was really difficult for someone to admit their challenges and issues. Anytime you have a particular issue or challenge within yourself, you know it's a problem. It might be really hard to admit that. So because it was hard to admit, this is what either you or your person needs to say. Listen, you know, I have a problem with drinking, and that's why, you know, I reacted the way that I did. Or, you know, I have a problem with being rejected. That's why I did what I did. You know, it has to be to the core of the vulnerability. What do we have here? I can love without conditions. I mean, how often do you hear something like that being said to you? Not very often. Someone telling you, you know, it was very difficult for me to admit any issues and challenges I have, but at the same time, I am capable of loving without conditions. It may not feel like that after that 5 of Swords moment, but it is possible. What else? Okay, so this is the crown chakra, coming from a place of I know. I know I could have done things differently. There's a feeling of regret here. Somebody really regrets, and you might too. Okay, this might be something that you would want to say to somebody. And this is what I mean by being deep with somebody and really not just saying that I didn't mean what I said, but why I didn't mean what I said. Because it's ultimately not okay to say anything that you want and then think that you can apologize for it later, because the impact remains. And that can be difficult for some people, and that might be the challenge that this person has or that you have, that you really speak without thinking sometimes. All right, so let's see. Something that you need to see that you are not seeing. What is it that you're not seeing when it comes to this person, this situation, this connection? What is it that you're not seeing? Ten of Pentacles. So I feel like overall there is some pessimism. You're assuming that things won't go your way versus things going your way easily. What you're not seeing is that there's 10 of Pentacles here for you somewhere in this situation. Whether it's what you're moving towards or what you left behind. Either way, there is the opportunity for abundance. So we've got 10 of Swords and 10 of Pentacles here. 10 of Swords is about the past. 10 of Pentacles is about the future. You haven't realized your full potential here, either in your situation or with a particular person. So why the 10 of Pentacles? Ten of Swords. Isn't that interesting? So because of what happened with your past or with this situation, whatever you deem as, having betrayed yourself or betraying somebody else, that particular situation is actually a critical part of you moving towards your abundance, towards your Ten of Pentacles, towards your commitment and happiness or potential marriage with somebody or partnership with somebody. So it's almost like we needed to see the worst of each other so we can appreciate the best of each other. And it might be helping somebody really identify challenges that they've had a hard time admitting to themselves. Could be a challenge with, pride and ego. That is so rampant out there right now. What else do we need to note? Eight of Swords. So when we're talking about something that you need to see, this is always a self-imposed energy. So what you might not be seeing is that if you feel like you're not able to move forward, or you're stuck, whatever you're stuck in the past, stuck in a way of thinking, stuck in an energy of some kind, you can release that. It's like you can't see what the future holds here, which feels like partnership, relationship, connection, right? You're blindfolded. And it's like you're stuck in this Ten of Swords energy. But when you take off that blindfold, you'll see the opportunity for abundance here that maybe you haven't seen. Remember, Six of Wands, that fear of success or fear of failure. It's easier to remain blindfolded. It's easier to remain in a certain way of thinking. It feels like Spirit wants you to expand that and see the bigger picture here. There is a bigger picture here in some way. So, what is a deep knowing that you have? What is a deep knowing that you currently have? And is it prevented by fear, or will it be embraced through love? Let's see. Whoa. This card jumped. We'll keep it. Let's see. Page of Pentacles. All right, so Page of Pentacles, a deep knowing you have, you do see some type of opportunity. You are not, even though you've got that Eight of Swords blindfold on, and you might not see this cleanly yet, openly yet, you do know that you do feel like there's opportunity for you. Some type of opportunity for you in the physical world. You're starting to realize that. I feel like you're starting to realize that. Why is Page of Pentacles here? Five of Swords. We saw the Five of Swords earlier, right? You're realizing that there is an opportunity from the discord that happened, whatever this was. I feel like this was an important part. Five of Swords was an important moment where you realized maybe somebody wasn't perfect. You realized that they were human. You realized that you were human possibly, or that you're capable of being in a Five of Swords energy just as much as the other person. So there was something significant from that Five of Swords moment, argument, issue that you had. What else? Whoops. All right, so we have the Hermit. So this is card of Virgo. You might be dealing with a Virgo, perhaps. But the only way that you are realizing or starting to realize the opportunity that is in front of you is you needed to be alone. So maybe this is about you possibly having been fired, broken up with. There's possibly a separation. There might be distance between you and a particular person. But I feel like it was all for the good. What was this about here? The Hanging Man. So ultimately, what needed to happen here was you are seeing things from a different perspective. You are reaching a stage of enlightenment about a particular person, a particular situation. Realizing that things aren't always as they seem to be. You know, if you look at your role in whatever happened here, you could find a lot underneath the hood. There was a lot going on with you that wasn't shared, right? Four of Pentacles. And that is true for the other individual or the other group of people as well. There was a lot going on that they didn't share. So you're looking at things from a different perspective here in some way. So when we look at the secret message that is coming out here, it's interesting because the only cards that we got twice were the Five of Swords and the Ten of Swords. So swords are about communication, are about thoughts. So you're gaining a new perspective on how you're thinking about this based on a very negative situation that has happened. Okay? But this needed to happen. This needed to happen to propel you forward towards this new opportunity, which is here, Ten of Pentacles. And it can be a new opportunity with an old person, or it can be a new opportunity with somebody new or something new. But I feel like it was a big, there was a moment of realizing something. Realizing that we're all able to love without conditions. That wasn't shown. That wasn't shown to you. That wasn't shown to your person from you. So there's opportunity to do better with that. You know, if I hide my issues and challenges, it's covered up through pride and arguments, right? And ultimately, you know you could have done things differently or better. The other person knows that they could have done things differently and better as well. So that's where the new perspective comes in. So the next time around, the next conversation, you know, is this going to be an issue again? Or are you going to go with approaching something without pride, without ego, and simply love without condition, not judge? Nobody likes to be judged, okay? You're judging yourself right now, and you're judging somebody else, which doesn't make you feel good, okay? So, let's see. I'm just going to pull... Yeah, I'm just pulling random decks for an oracle message. And we'll see what comes through. Now let's get one more. Why not? All right, let's see. Now, when I do personal readings, the oracle cards that I present last in the personal readings, I always say to people that these cards might mean more to you than they do to me. So listen to what they mean to you. But I'll give you my thoughts as we go. What do we have here? Magical getaway. It takes courage and trust to venture into the unknown. Yet this is where the greatest rewards are. It's time to step boldly forward without looking back. So this is saying step boldly forward with that unconditional loving energy, without the fear, without the pride. You know, it's a magical gateway. Loving without conditions is a magical gateway that will always, because it's truthful. If you can get into that energy, it'll always create the right outcome. What else do we have here? Talisman. Or talisman, I should say. 49 breaks down to the number 13, which breaks down to the number 4. So, you know, it's like what I see here is we've got this path in front of her. It's like, I feel like what this is saying is, it's like, what path are you going to take? What path are you going to take going forward in the physical world? Are you going to carry that load of the, you know, of the Queen of Swords, you know, a closed heart, prideful energy, or are you going to just nakedly move forward? What do we have here? Ah, love it. Divine abundance. You were born to align with love's will. Follow the Tao and serve something beyond the ego. What have we been talking about? That's true. Learn to be abundance, not chase it. Okay, so it's not only about unconditional love towards others. It's about how you feel about yourself. You know, one thing that has become abundantly clear to me after doing readings for as long as I've been doing them is what really happens when a relationship is on the decline, and that applies to any relationship in any circumstance, is when you start to see yourself through another person's eyes in a negative way. Okay, when you start seeing yourself negatively through somebody else's eyes, that's when things start to go wrong. And it's really about you seeing or not being happy within yourself and how you behave in that relationship, whether it's a work relationship and you know you're not doing everything you should be doing, or it's in a personal relationship and you know you're not being your best self. You can see that through somebody else's eyes and how they react to you. So that is huge. Finally, what do we have? Look at this, love life. New or renewed romantic love is here for you. But I really feel like it's based on, you know, what path you choose. Do you choose going down the same road that you've been before, or moving forward with love and without that judgment and condition? So it's like love is here for you. You know, when you find your inner light, when you learn to kind of moderate your ego and love yourself so you can see yourself as the best version of you through other people's eyes. Think about that, because it's true. All right, water signs, that is what I have for you, okay? If you're looking for a deeper, more personal reading, I am here for you. If not, no worries. I will talk to you next week when I'm back in full swing. All right, thanks so much. Have a great week. Bye.